Hello, everybody. How are you? I hope you are doing amazing. I hope you are doing great. Today, we are going to be talking about negative thoughts, the inner critic, releasing negative thoughts, how to deal with negative thoughts, the mind, the brain, all of that type of stuff. So, if you are in a place in your life where you really want to learn how to release negative thoughts and feelings and how to, kind of take control of your brain and your mind, I am here to help guide you. Now, what I talk about in this video and the different information that I'm giving, listen, I'm not saying that it works for everybody, but I truly believe that if you believe it works, it's going to work, because these thoughts and realizations and stuff that I've learned and that I've accumulated has seriously helped me so much, guys. Like, my mind is so much more peaceful now, and I'm still on that road to that because, we never stop growing, we never stop changing, and this is a subject that I'm still learning to deal with because I have a crazy brain. I have some people might call monkey brain. So this topic for me is really important because, guys, okay, I'm a Pisces stellium. So when it comes to the dreaminess and the daydreams and all of that, like, I am very in my head. I feel like I can be very in my head a lot of the time. So learning how to ground myself and grounding my thoughts, it's really important for me. And this information has, oh my God, changed my life, guys. So I feel like the biggest step in, starting to release negative thoughts and negative emotions and feelings is just the realization that you are having them, guys. Once you realize what is going on in your head, once you start paying attention to your mind, what you're thinking, what you're indulging in, what you are allowing yourself to see, to absorb, all of that has an effect on your thoughts, guys, and your emotions. So if you want to start, I'm guessing if you clicked on this video, you probably already have the realization that you are having some negative thoughts, negative emotions. But let me tell you, that realization is one of the biggest steps, guys, because once you realize it, you can start releasing them. Your thoughts, guys, negative thoughts that you think about yourself, that inner critic that likes to come out when you're doing certain types of things. You need to understand that those thoughts didn't come from you, guys, okay? Now, I know it can seem like, what do you mean? They are coming from me. But your inner voice, that inner critic, a lot of the time, my loves, that is coming from either things that you have picked up subconsciously, whether that be on the news, social media, standards that social media likes to put on us, all of that type of stuff, or you had people in your family that told you these types of things that imprinted these thoughts and ideas onto you, and now you believe it. So once you realize that these thoughts are not yours, once you realize that these thoughts have come from other people, other things, whatever it may be, you can start releasing them. You can start detaching from them. If you have a habit of negative thought and you recognize that habit, that is the start to the end of that habit. Because a habit, guys, this is one thing that I've learned from Bashar and his teachings. A habit is something that you're doing unconsciously because you keep doing it and doing it. But once you recognize that you keep doing that, and once you recognize the habit that you're doing, you can start releasing it. You can stop doing that type of thing. Because if you start realizing the habit, but you keep choosing to do it, or you keep choosing to think those thoughts, now you're choosing it yourself. Now you're doing it to yourself. So this is where the power of choice comes in, guys. This is where you really have to step up. You really have to start taking control of your brain and what you're deciding to think. And this is not in a maliciously controlling way, but it's about recognizing what you're allowing yourself to think. Now, for me personally, I'm going to tell you guys what I have done and what I do. So, when I started my YouTube channel, the negative thoughts, the inner critic was fucking insane in my brain. Because when you start it, and it's almost like once you start doing something out of your comfort zone, or something new, or something different, or whatever it may be, your inner critic or those negative thoughts are going to try to stop you. They're going to try to keep you still and stagnant, because those thoughts, they don't want you to grow. They want you to believe that if you step out of your comfort zone, if you start doing something different than something something wrong is going to happen there, or something traumatic or crazy is going to happen. But that's simply just fear, guys. It's just fear trying to keep you in a little circle. It's just fear that wants to keep you still. So when I started doing this, when I started creating the things I wanted to create, oh my God, guys, it was like the inner critic got reawakened in me. Those negative thoughts started to become so much more powerful because those negative thoughts and feelings started to realize that they are no longer having power over me anymore, that I am no longer listening to them. So there would be times where I would be doing, whether I'd be editing or whatever I'd be doing, I would have waves of anxiety, waves of fear. Oh my gosh, what if this happens? I'm going to look dumb. I'm going to look stupid. What if people don't like me? All of these things rushing through my brain. But once I started realizing that, I started telling myself, Gabby, is this who you are? I started questioning those thoughts. I started questioning the things I was thinking of. Gabby, is this truly who you are? No, you know this is not who you are. You know that this is not a part of you. So why do you keep it around? Why do you keep listening to it? Stop it. It came to a point, I kept doing it so much that I got sick and tired of thinking that. I got sick and tired of feeling that way. So I started to consciously choose to not pay attention to those thoughts, to release those thoughts. Because guys, your thoughts are just thoughts. Thoughts are like clouds, guys. They come and they go. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. It is us that likes to grab the thought and we like to put the emotion to the thought. It's like we see the thought and it's like we look at it and then we instantly want to put our emotions to it. But once you start realizing that emotions and thoughts are two completely different things, guys. Emotions are just indicators of what's going on inside your body. Thoughts are just there. Y'all, they are just there because think about it. Like, for example, like if you're just sitting in silence or if you meditate, for example, that's a big way to show you that your thoughts are just there. They just come and they go. Because if you're just sitting there in nothingness and quietness and you, like, let's say you think of something random, right? Where does that thought come from, y'all? Literally fucking nothing. It comes from nothing. It's just like a cloud. It's literally just like a cloud that's passing by. So once you start realizing that, you can start stepping back. You start looking at those thoughts, at those negative patterns as a third person almost, guys. It's almost like you have to grab that shit by the balls, take it out of you, look at it and be like, you're no longer welcome here. This is not me anymore. I'm sorry that you're trying to keep me safe. I'm sorry that you're trying to keep me in my comfort zone, but this is not working for me anymore. You need to look at it as something separate from you because it is, guys. It's not a part of you. You know what is a part of you? Positive energy, loving energy, good feeling energy. You came onto this earth to feel good, to experience good. That is your true nature, guys. That is where you came from. But, you know, we get into this human experience and we let life beat us up and we let life take over. But you don't have to do that, okay? Like, you are in control. You create your own reality. So once you start having those realizations, my loves, start replacing your bad thoughts with your good thoughts. If you get a bad thought, stop, observe it, breathe it out, guys. Stop attaching so much to it and let it go. Let it pass. Just let it pass. Be like, you know what? Okay, this is what's going on. I just gotta let it flow. You gotta let it go. Let it flow. Let it go. Once you let it go, you can start getting momentum towards good thoughts, towards positive thoughts. Start feeding your brain the good things. Start telling your brain what you want it to believe. Your brain is moldable. You can shape your thoughts. You can shape how you decide to feel on a day-to-day basis. If you have a bad thought, observe it, let it go, replace it with a good thought. Start saying affirmations. I am beautiful. I am safe. I am here. Everything is okay. This too shall pass. This is a bad moment, not a bad life. Start replacing the bad thoughts with the good thoughts, y'all. And this takes time, guys. Okay, this is not something that happens overnight because there's going to be times where you're going to slip back into it. Like, you're going to catch yourself slipping back into it because you've been so used to it for so long that that's what your brain believes. So this is where training comes in. Being consistent with your affirmations, being consistent with your mental health, being consistent with doing things that you truly love. You need to start paying paying attention also to what you're feeding your brain. What are you listening to? What are you watching? For me, one of the things that I had to stop watching when I started really taking on this journey was drama shows, reality shows, guys, because every single time I would watch shows like that, oh my fucking God, I would get so annoyed. I would get so drained. I would get so tired, and I wouldn't feel good at all. And I would watch those shows, and then I would go back to life and I'd be like, why am I feeling so shitty? Why do I feel like this? And I'm like, well, Gabby, what are you feeding your brain? I started replacing that stuff with motivational talks, motivational speaking, Abraham Hicks, Bashar, who else? Jay Shetty. I don't watch him a lot, but a couple clips that I see. Gabrielle Bernstein. I started replacing those bad things that I was listening to and watching with the good things. I started training my mind to believe the things that I truly wanted to believe. Remember, your brain believes what it tells you, guys, because your subconscious does not know the difference between real and fake. Whatever you feed it, it's going to believe. So if you're telling your brain, if you are going about day-to-day life, oh, my life sucks, life is so hard, life is horrible, I can't get a good job, can't live an abundant life, guess what? Your brain is going to start to believe it. You're going to start to believe it. You're going to start giving out that energy. But if you start replacing those things with, I live in an abundant life, I live a life of ease and grace, I am grateful, I am happy, all of those things, it helps train your mind, it helps train your brain. Okay, my loves? So remember, it's the power of choice. What do you want to believe? What do you want your brain to believe? How do you want to feel? Choose the good. Think happy thoughts. That is why I'm wearing this. Think happy thoughts and be gentle with yourself, my loves, okay? Be gentle. Be gracious. This is a process, but it's a beautiful process. I love you guys to the moon and back. Mwah.